Hey, welcome. Today we're going to dive into this really wild model of consciousness that completely turns our everyday reality on its head. Get ready for this. We're going to explore the idea that the universe isn't something that just happens to us, but something that we build from the inside out, starting from the very deepest layers of our own being.
So let's just kick things off with a massive question. What if you're not just a passenger, just experiencing a reality that's already been written for you? What if you're the architect, the artist, the engineer of your own experience, using tools you might not even realize you have? This is the core idea we're unpacking today.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we first have to take a journey beyond the cozy little box of our five senses. We kind of have to poke some holes in a worldview that's been running the show for centuries. A view that might just be holding us back from seeing what's really going on.
Okay, so what you're looking at here might seem simple, but trust me, it is absolutely profound. The old view, materialism, basically says we're just fancy biological machines. Our brain, which is just matter, somehow cooks up this thing we call consciousness. But the new view, it flips the entire script. It says consciousness isn't the product, it's the source. It's the actual fabric of the universe, and it's consciousness that organizes itself into everything we see and touch and call matter.
So, if we're not just a physical body, then what are we? Well, the source material gives us this powerful way to think about it. The human hypercube. So picture this. You're not just a single point in space. You're this incredible, multidimensional structure with different layers of reality stacked one inside the other. And each one has its own job, its own rules.
And this right here, is the roadmap. It's the flow of creation. Think about it like a waterfall. It doesn't start down here in the physical world. No way. It starts way up at the highest level, the mental body. That's the world of pure thought. That idea then cascades down into the astral body, the world of emotion, where it picks up energy and starts to take shape. And only then, after all that, does it finally show up here in our physical body in our world. It's always top-down, from the idea all the way down to the finished product.
All right, let's take our first step down the rabbit hole and see how our reality really begins to form. We are heading into the astral realm, this vibrant, chaotic, and incredibly powerful layer of emotion that's humming just beneath the surface of our physical senses.
So the sources call the astral the fourth dimension. And get this, it's the dimension of time itself, but not time like we think of it. Down here, past, present, and future aren't this neat, straight line. They all kind of exist at once. This is the dimension where our deepest emotions live, and it's the very first workshop where our physical reality gets put together.
So what's the big takeaway here? The astral body is the absolute engine room of our lives. It's where all that raw emotional fuel, our passions, our fears, our biggest desires is stored. The sources call it the kitchen of reality. The big ideas come from upstairs, right? But the astral, that's the kitchen. That's where you mix all the ingredients together before you actually serve the meal in the physical world. It's also the world of our dreams and, for some, even conscious astral travel.
Okay, now look at these numbers. This is going to blow your mind. Now, these are symbolic numbers, of course, but the point they make is wow. While there are about 7 billion of us operating mostly on the physical level, the sources suggest that only a tiny fraction, maybe 7 million, are consciously aware of and navigating the astral world. And look how much smaller it gets as we go higher. That's a huge drop-off. This tells us that waking up to these other layers isn't automatic. It's a conscious choice, a step in our evolution.
All right, ready to go up another level? If the astral realm is that chaotic, passionate kitchen where all the ingredients get mixed together, then the mental realm is the calm, quiet architect's office. This is where the blueprints for reality are first drawn up.
Yeah, this table just lays it out so perfectly. The astral is all about how things feel. It's messy, it's passionate, it's reactive. The mental body, totally different. It's calm, it's structured. It's not about how things feel, it's about why things happen. It's the realm of pure thought, of philosophy, of the grand design. It gives all that emotional energy from the astral a purpose and a plan. And this might be one of the most important ideas in this whole model. The mental body has two parts, and the upper mental body, what's also called the causal body, is basically your soul's permanent hard drive. It's the seed that carries the sum total of your wisdom, your talents, your karmic patterns, everything from one life to the next. According to this model, this is the actual mechanism of reincarnation.
Okay, so we've seen the map of our inner worlds, right? But how do we actually, know it for ourselves? Because according to these sources, there's a universe of difference between knowing something in your head and truly knowing it in your soul.
I love this distinction the sources make. A billion is the learned one. You know, the scholar, the person who's read all the books. They can explain the theory of everything, but it's all up here in their head. A bilge, on the other hand, that's the wise one. They might not have a library full of books, but they know because they've experienced it directly. They feel it in their bones. It's embodied wisdom.
And man, this quote from the poet Eunice Emre from way back in the 13th century, it just nails it. Knowledge is to know knowledge. Knowledge is to know oneself. If you do not know yourself, what is the point of all of this reading? I mean, the whole point isn't to just collect facts about the outside world. It's to understand the world inside you. The real adventure is the journey inward.
And this is how you get there. This is the journey from being a billion to a bilge. It's brilliant. First, there's knowing by theory. You read about fire in a book. Cool. That's ilmi yaqeen. Next, there's knowing by sight. You see a fire across the room. Okay, getting warmer. That's anil yaqeen. But the deepest level, haktil yaqeen, is knowing by experience. That's when you get close enough to actually feel the heat on your skin. That's when information becomes real knowing.
Okay, so this whole model is amazing, right? But it begs the question, so what? How do we actually use this stuff? How do we go from theory to experience and start working with these inner worlds on purpose? So in our last section here, let's get down to the how-to.
So the master key to all of this, it's actually pretty simple, and it's grounded in science. It's all about consciously shifting your brainwaves. Right now, our normal state is the beta state. That's our everyday, busy, analytical, gotta get stuff done, chattering mind. But to get to these deeper layers of reality, we need to slow things down. And here it is, the technique they call auto-hypnosis meditation. Step 1, you gotta shift gears. You consciously move from that busy beta state down into a chill, relaxed alpha state. Think of it like daydreaming or light meditation. Step 2, from there, you basically have a direct phone line to your astral and mental bodies. And step 3, that's the magic moment. That's when you set your intention. You give a clear command, you plant a seed in the rich soil of your own consciousness to create real, actual change in your physical world. But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch. This powerful connection can be totally blocked by what the sources call inner viruses. Low-frequency emotions like fear, anger, pride, and anxiety, they're like static on the radio. They just mess up the signal and block you from tapping into your own creative power. So, keeping your emotions in check, it's not just some feel-good advice. In this model, it's a technical requirement for creating your reality. So, here we are, right back at the beginning. But everything looks a little different now, doesn't it? The final question is this. Are you just a passive observer, just along for the ride in a universe that happens to you, or are you a powerful creator, standing at the control panel of your own reality, ready to move from just experiencing life to consciously designing it? The choice, as these ideas suggest, is all yours.